Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The DTC P050B refers to a cold start ignition timing control system performance problem within the Honda CRV models from 2017 to 2022. This diagnostic trouble code indicates issues with the ignition system's capability to accurately manage engine timing during cold starts. When this error is triggered, the engine may struggle to start or may not perform efficiently until it warms up. Recognizing and addressing this trouble code is crucial to ensure optimal engine performance and emissions compliance. The Engine Control Module, ECM, is responsible for monitoring various engine performance parameters, and any discrepancies can lead to considerable mechanical and operational problems. Therefore, a thorough diagnostic process is essential for pinpointing the exact cause of the P050B code. The error described by DTC P050B signifies a failure in the cold start ignition timing control system. This system primarily involves several components, including the inlet pipe, air cleaner housing, and mass airflow (MAF) and intake air temperature (IAT) sensors. The inlet pipe allows air to enter the engine, while the air cleaner housing protects the engine from contaminants. The MAF sensor measures the amount of air entering the engine, and the IAT sensor gauges the temperature of that air. These components collaborate to provide the Engine Control Module, ECM, with crucial data to manage the ignition timing effectively. If any of these components fail or obstruct the airflow or measurements, it could lead to issues capturing the correct ignition timing during cold starts, thus triggering the P050B code. Several potential causes can lead to the appearance of DTC P050B. One common issue is a poor connection, which can disrupt the communication between critical components, like the ECM and sensors. Another cause is a blockage in the inlet pipe, preventing the necessary airflow required for proper engine combustion. A faulty air cleaner housing can also contribute, as it may not channel airflow effectively. Additionally, if the air cleaner element is dirty, it restricts airflow, impacting combustion efficiency and timing. Lastly, a malfunctioning IAT sensor can provide inaccurate temperature readings, misguiding the ECM in its timing control function, ultimately triggering the P050B error code. Vehicles affected by DTC P050B may exhibit several symptoms. One of the most common complaints is difficulty starting the engine, especially in colder conditions, as the ignition timing is not optimal. Once the engine does start, it may idle roughly or inconsistently, leading to performance issues during initial operation. Additionally, drivers may notice an increase in emissions, which can result from inefficient combustion due to poor ignition timing management. For fuel efficiency, you may experience decreased fuel economy given the engine's struggle to reach optimal performance levels. Recognizing these symptoms can help identify the presence of the P050B code and emphasize the importance of addressing it promptly. The first troubleshooting step involves accessing the vehicle's diagnostic mode. Begin by turning the ignition to the on position without starting the engine. This action allows the onboard diagnostic system to initiate and communicate with the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. Check for any pending or confirmed diagnostic trouble codes, DTCs, displayed by the system. A pivotal part of this step is noting whether there are other DTCs present besides P050B. If additional DTCs are indicated, it is essential to follow the troubleshooting process for those codes, as they may provide further insight and context to the current issue. Only if no other DTCs are found should we proceed to the next step in addressing the P050B code. Moving to the second step of the troubleshooting process requires the ignition to be turned off first. With the vehicle in the off mode, visually inspect the inlet pipe for any signs of blockage or poor connections. The inlet pipe must maintain a clear path for airflow into the engine. Any blockage can lead to significant performance issues. Additionally, ensuring that connections are secure is vital to prevent disruptions in airflow. If the pipe is found to be blocked, or if connections are faulty, it should be repaired or replaced as necessary. If everything appears satisfactory, then you can confidently move to the next step in the diagnostic process. In Step 3, you will conduct a visual inspection of the air cleaner housing. This component is critical because it plays a pivotal role in securing clean air while allowing proper airflow into the engine. Ensure that there are no poor connections or visible blockages at the air cleaner housing. It's important to examine its integrity thoroughly, as any issues here can affect engine performance significantly. If the housing is found to have defects like cracks or other damage, it should be replaced to restore optimal function. Only if this component is confirmed to be in good condition should you proceed further in the diagnostic flow. The fourth troubleshooting step centers on checking the air cleaner element for any dirt or debris. A clean air cleaner element is crucial for optimal engine function, as it ensures that the engine receives only uncontaminated air for combustion. If this component is identified as dirty, it adversely affects the air-to-fuel ratio, leading to performance issues and potentially triggering the P050B code due to improper ignition timing. If you find that it does need replacement, ensure to use OEM or equivalent parts for best results. If the air cleaner element is clean, you can move on to the next phase of troubleshooting. Step 5 involves more dynamic testing, starting with turning on the vehicle engine. Allow the engine to cool down until the engine coolant temperature, ECT, sensor 1, reads 77 degrees Fahrenheit, 25 degrees Celsius or below, as this temperature is critical for evaluating the cold start system. Use the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to clear any existing diagnostic trouble codes like P050B. After clearing, turn the vehicle to the off mode again. Start the engine and let it idle for at least 10 seconds while being prepared to monitor the OBD status for the P050B code, as displayed in the DTCs menu on the HDS. This step is pivotal in determining if the initial problem appears again under the same operational conditions. In sixth troubleshooting step, you'll need to engage the vehicle into drive mode and hold the engine speed at 3,000 RPM without any load. This step is essential for testing the MAF sensor performance accurately. As you hold the engine speed, activate the radiator fan and let the engine idle afterwards. Additionally, when maintaining an engine speed of 2,500 RPM for at least 30 seconds, utilize the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to assess various parameters and confirm that the MAF sensor readings fall within the range of 4.1 to 5.7 grams per second, GS. If the MAF sensor readings are within this threshold, it indicates proper functionality. If not, you will need to replace the MAF IAT sensors to resolve the issue and allow proper ignition timing for cold starts. The final troubleshooting step focuses on evaluating the performance of the IAT sensor. Start by turning the vehicle to the off mode, allowing the engine to cool down to ambient temperature before noting the temperature. Next, turn the vehicle to the on mode and quickly check the value of IAT sensor 1 using the HDS. It is crucial to compare the IAT sensor reading to the measured ambient temperature. If the difference is 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit or 3 degrees Celsius or greater, it indicates a malfunctioning IAT sensor. necessitating its replacement. If the IAT sensor readings are as expected, examine the throttle body for dirt, carbon buildup, or any visible damage, as these could also contribute to ignition timing problems during cold starts. Clean or replace as needed to ensure optimal functioning. After completing all the troubleshooting steps for DTC P050B, it is important to perform a final verification of all repairs made. Start by ensuring that all components, including sensors and hoses, are securely reconnected and free from any obstructions. Use the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, once again to verify if any new diagnostic trouble codes are present. A thorough test drive is also recommended to ensure the vehicle is functioning as intended, particularly in cold starting scenarios. Monitor the engine's performance closely during this drive to ensure any previous symptoms associated with the P050B code have been resolved. If everything checks out, you can confidently conclude that the repair was successful. To prevent future occurrences of DTC P050B and maintain optimal vehicle performance, it is essential to incorporate routine preventive maintenance strategies. Regularly, inspecting and replacing the air filter is crucial, as a clean filter ensures that the engine receives unobstructed airflow. Additionally, check sensor connections periodically for any signs of wear or corrosion that could hinder electrical communication. Maintaining a clean inlet system and ensuring all hoses and pipes are unobstructed will optimize engine performance and reliability. Ultimately, staying proactive with these maintenance practices can help prevent ignition timing issues from developing and keep your Honda CRV running smoothly. In conclusion, understanding the specifics of DTC P050B highlights its implications on cold start ignition timing control. Thorough diagnostics play a crucial role in identifying problems, from checking the basic onboard systems to scrutinizing individual components like the MAF and IAT sensors. Following the outlined troubleshooting steps meticulously is vital to isolating the root cause of the issue effectively. Should a replacement or significant repair be required, ensure component integrity and sensor performance to avoid recurrent failures. Finally, consistent preventive maintenance should be adhered to, safeguarding against future DTC occurrences and ensuring your Honda CRV performs efficiently throughout its lifespan. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.